Here we go, yo! Welcome to week 2 of On Top the Cage. If the set looks a little bit different to you, your eyes are not deceiving you. As always, my good friend Dan is to my, far left. In the middle is my brother-in-law Teddy up visiting. Hails from one of the COVID capitals.
ATL, baby!
One of the COVID capitals of the United States, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm obviously Ken. How you fellas doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm up here
Good to see
visiting for the week, hanging out with the family, and hopefully we'll have a good production.
Fair enough. All right, everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Ted's been up here since Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, yep.
And you leave when?
We leave next Sunday.
All right, very good. Celebrated his 55th birthday?
It was somewhere in the 40s, but yeah, we're here, and
when was
I
that?
had a birthday on Sunday. Thanks for the happy birthday.
What
Thank
the
you,
hell?
appreciate it.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
It's all good. No problem.
I didn't know that. Nobody told me.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Maybe the biggest fan of the show. His father might have missed it, but anyway, we'll give him a little bit of slack. He's in his 80s. I love him to death. He's an absolute stud. All right, 3-man booth here. Kind of like a college game day, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully I'm not the Eminem of the group.
With the guest picker that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Hey, we got him right here. All right, very good. Reviewing the week. We're getting to that in a minute, but things that happened over the weekend with college football, pro football. Best catch of the week. Did you guys see it? It would be the Hard Rock Cat. The cat.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
The American
yeah.
flag.
That was
that was
awesome.
great. That was
Yeah.
great. That was great.
How the hell did the cat get in the stadium? That's what I want
No,
to know.
it's
No
Miami. It's all you need to know.
Well,
there's
yeah.
rats and there's cats, and then they do their own thing.
was-
It's normal down in South Florida.
But I thought something I saw, it said it had a collar on it.
That's a different story I'm not aware of, but I'll just say it's a cat. It's Miami. That's all you need to know.
It was certainly incomplete. What happened was it probably had to be a good 60 feet that the cat was
least,
dangling
at
from,
least. Yeah.
and there was a couple of fellas there. They had a American flag.
yeah.
The cat kind of bounced and then hit the ground. But what really happened was the drinking fella was like very proud that the cat didn't perish, in the fall. And he might have paralyzed, like shaking it around, like showing everybody.
Buzz away.
That was the roughest part of that, yeah.
Cats have 9 lives. I think he went through 2 right there. Another fun thing that I thought happened over, I guess it was really Monday night in regards to football, was the Monday night broadcast with the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli. Did you guys get a chance to watch that?
I did not catch any of that.
Yeah, I watched some of it. It's entertaining. If it's a blowout, I might tune it in to see what they're saying. But if it's a good game on, I think I'm watching regular.
I hear you. I thought it was fantastic just because you get constructive criticism that you don't hear on normal broadcasts.
Yep.
And obviously Peyton and Eli know what they're talking about, and they're talking about how they should have done this or moved the backer or whatever the situation was. It was very different. It was fun. I thought it was good. So,
Well, at least Peyton knows what he's talking about. I don't know.
I agree.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Eli's got
I'm
2
sure it's
rings.
a good watch.
He's got 2 rings. So,
They both have
Peyton,
2
he's
rings.
Eli.
I mean, come on. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather be Peyton than Eli, but I mean, Peyton's were more well deserved. But that's not here nor there.
opening week game day, Dan. We always talk about Dan's menu, or we do it often. He likes to smoke. He likes to grill. What was on the menu for the Browns game?
Oh, we just did appetizers. I did, I'll call it meat candy, the little cocktail weenies and barbecue sauce, and then I wrapped them in bacon and put brown sugar on them and a little cayenne.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Smoked
that.
them. So we had meat candy and some cheese dip.
Very good. Over here, I made a big batch of chili. We also made some meatballs and peppers and things like that. So that was what happened here.
I still have one of those back at my mom's house, by the way.
What is that?
The meatball sub.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll eat it tomorrow. Apparently the bread's supposed
Are
to
you
be
staying at
soggy.
your mom's or are you staying here?
Both.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
up from Atlanta. So
If
I'm
you
staying
drink
at my
too much
mom's
here,
and-
you stay here.
Yes, correct. I'm staying here tonight. Yes.
we got lots of pick.
How would you get to your mom's? Does she have to come pick you
It's
up?
a long walk.
All right, we got lots of pickers. It's probably going to be a long show. Probably enough for the intro. You guys want to do the beer review? Or want to
Yeah.
talk about what happened last week?
Let's do it.
No, the
Let's
beer review.
Beer review is
Come on.
up. All right. The beer review comes from the Royal Docks Brewing Company in the birthplace of football, Canton, Ohio.
The graphics are amazing.
Oh, yeah, Dan gives me a hard time.
it-
There are
That
no
is really
docks
cool.
in Canton, as far as I know. Is there a river? Or I don't know anything about that.
No, there's no river. There's down there. I don't even know what lakes. Myers Lake.
So there are no docks in Canton, is what we're saying.
It is called Pumpkin Slayer. The graphics are amazing on it. Dan has accused me of picking out beers based upon the can presentation. It happened again this week. There's lots of different things on here. IBU 24 and then OG, FG. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for. The craft beer people, when I'm in the aisles with them, they seem to know what that is. I think it's Gravity. I'm not positive.
Yep.
What's our alcohol content? My eyes are bad.
7.7.
7.7.
It's
Let's give it a whirl.
Spiced ale with coffee, and I'm not a coffee drinker.
1 cup a day for me at work, not on weekends. Look at me first.
Oh, it's definitely spiced.
Don't smell any coffee.
Oh, there's a lot of I do. I taste the coffee. Maybe it's because I'm not a coffee drinker. You're a coffee drinker.
I do. I don't smell it, is what I'm saying.
COVID.
It tastes like coffee, but the smell,
No.
it's not as spicy.
No, but the taste is more. I taste the pumpkin.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we did one beer from Royal Dock last year, and it was Leatherhead because they have tremendous can presentation. It was the old Canton Bulldog uniform
Yeah.
football player. I wasn't necessarily a fan of it. I like this one a little bit better. What do you guys think?
I definitely taste the spice. Is that oleander? There's something in there that is definitely pumpkiny, definitely spice. I'm not quite getting the coffee, but I'm sure they're
getting
not
the
lying.
coffee.
Let's see.
I get the
You
coffee
do-
more than
Do I need
anything.
a mask?
Maybe.
What the hell?
I was told I should wear a mask.
Did you have a
around
positive
because
COVID test or
I've
negative?
had 2 negatives.
To
No,
come on
don't
this
ask
show?
me why, but yes.
We did not screen our people this week.
Is
We're
Biden
let
going to
it
make you
slide.
have a test to go back to Atlanta?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We're not going to cross that bridge. We're not getting into politics. That's not what this show is about. We're not going to go there. Last week came out of the chute on fire. I went 11-5. Dan had a little bit of a subpar week. He was 7-9.
Holy crap! I thought I was going to be like 2 and whatever.
Yeah, Dan texted me. He goes, I don't think I have any games right after when we started the 4 o'clock games and things like that. He was wrong. He got some right, but not the start probably he wanted. Obviously, you know what's new this year in regards to our picks. We give our best bet on the board, what I refer to as the elephant pick. You'll see this trinket up here. It's new to the set as well.
Is that the Roll Tide thing? Because I'm not. Okay
No,
with
it's just an elephant.
It's not red. Come on.
It is on my side because I got my elephant pick right. It was the San Francisco 49ers over the Detroit Lions. It was an early line. It was 7.5. I think that line ballooned a little bit. So if
What
you-
happens if we both get it right?
We can put it in the middle if you'd
Oh,
like.
all
We'll have
right.
antlers. We got plenty of stuff to come in regards to that. Dan was on the Washington football team. They played a back and forth football game. They ended up losing it. Dan lost his elephant pick as well. I did do some research. I mean, Teddy may look a little bit familiar to you. I looked it up. He was here week 8 last year, season 1 of On Top the Cage. He went 6-7-1. He's going to try to get above 500, I guess, with this week's showing.
Yeah, that was mid-COVID, and we had just come from Boston, and I didn't have my wits about me, but I'm feeling good about this week.
Excuses. Anyway, we are ready for the games, I think. Thursday Night Football. It is the New York Giants going, across the bridge? Not very far to the Washington football team.
That's a long bridge, dude. That's not just the bridge. I mean, they're not that close.
They can't be more than 45 minutes away from each other. In any event,
Yes, it is.
it's not a geography show either. Both teams lost their opening week. They're both 0-1. The line has been put at the Washington football team -3.5. The over-under is 40. Let's talk about the Giants first. The Giants lost their game to Denver, who I'm bullish on, and I'll talk about that later in the show. Daniel Jones turned the ball over a little bit. Saquon Barkley was on a little bit of a pitch count. As far as the Washington football team goes, the big news out of that game is that Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt. He has a hip injury. Originally, his report is probably 4 weeks. I think we're up to a half a season. He's on the IR. I think he's going to be out 8 weeks. A really good football team, but Washington's -3.5 in this game on Thursday Night Football. Who do you guys like?
He's talking to you first. Well, okay, I'll go first. That's fine. 40 sounds like a decent number. I'll definitely take the over on that one, but at the same time, with Washington's defense, who knows what's going to happen. But at the same time, without Fitzpatrick being in there, I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants. I'll take the 3.5.
Take 3.5. Dan, what say you?
I'm going with Heineke and the Washington football team. That defense, they're going to step up. I thought it was a close game. Fitzpatrick doesn't get hurt, and that kid has a week of practice devoted to himself. I think they pulled that out last week against Denver. So I'm going with the Washington football Redskins.
Dan likes the old school name. I like the Washington football team as well, -3.5. Couple of reasons. One is the defense for Washington. When Dan and I have talked about it numerous occasions, how we like their young defense. But meanwhile, it's mainly based upon Taylor Heineke. I like what he brings to the table. We first saw Taylor Heineke debut.
Tampa Bay.
Yes, in the NFC wildcard game.
Yeah.
And he played tremendous. He has a live arm. He can run. I like him a lot. I like the Washington football team in this game. It competes against a college game, OU, Ohio University, where part of Dan's money goes.
Yep. I'll be watching OU down at Louisiana Lafayette or
one of those.
whatever,
I don't know. I guess they're not displaced anymore. But part of Dan's money goes to his daughter Delaney's college fund. She's a senior at OU.
Senior. Yep.
All right, very good.
OSU, not OU.
OU.
Oh, Ohio University.
Separate school.
Okay, so
Different.
the green school.
I told you,
Yeah.
Guest
Yeah.
Picker doesn't know what he's
Yeah.
talking
In
about.
Athens,
Yep.
Ohio.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure we're not talking about Oklahoma.
You shouldn't
No,
interject. That's
not
what guest
Oklahoma.
pictures are for.
Get outta here.
All right, Dan and I are both on the Washington football team. Teddy went the other way with the Giants. The Sunday 1 o'clock slate starts with the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Soldier Field to play my Chicago Bears. You can see my shirt. It says Soldier Fields, which was a gift from Dan, who's a big fan of the Dan Patrick. I shouldn't say it's a podcast. It's a show. It's a real show. But he got this for me when they came out with some of their merch and things like that. The Bears are a 3-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 45. Cincinnati, they won a big overtime game against the Minnesota Vikings
That
on
game
Sunday.
was crazy. I mean, I was shocked because I wasn't sold on Cincinnati's offensive line, and they somehow stayed in that game and won it at the end. I'm shocked.
I think Joe Burrow's got lots to prove. I'm going to take the 3 points, and I'm going to go with Cincy. Not because I don't love you, Ken, but I don't think your Bears, they didn't show me anything last week. I'm going to take Cincy. I'm going to take those 3 points.
That's quick. Teddy declared quick. I got a lot to say about this game. Obviously, my love for the Chicago football team. I thought Burrow played well. I think he's going to be a great player. In regards to that game against Minnesota, it went into overtime. There was a fumble by Dalvin Cook. It was reviewed for a very long time. The call was upheld as Minnesota was driving. Cincinnati took the ball the other way. Their rookie kicker banged the field goal home. They won. It cost me a chunk of money. It was the last leg of a 5-team parlay. I was not happy. There was a lot going on here. Teddy's parents were here. My wife's parents were here, getting ready to celebrate the birthday. What's wrong with Ken? The deputy showed up. I mean, he's a friend of mine. There was a lot going on here. It wasn't a good look for myself. In any event, Chicago, they played Sunday Night Football. They lost out in L.A., gave up a couple of huge plays. The defense looks a little old to me. Obviously, the situation in Chicago, everybody wants to talk about Justin Fields and Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton started. There was, some plays. I think Justin Fields got a half a dozen plays or so. He ended up scoring a rushing touchdown. Everybody's kind of clamoring for that. The Bears didn't throw the ball past 10 yards in regards to the entire game. So, in any event, the Bears are -3. I like them to bounce back. I'm certainly on the Bears. I think there's going to be more time for Fields in this game, and I think it's only a matter of time before he takes over the job. And probably week 3-4, we'll see. I'm certainly on the Bears -3.
It's a tough game for me. I mean, the Bengals look good. Defense looked good. Chicago played the Rams, did not look good.
Bears were in the game at halftime. They were down 13-7.
Make a decision, Dan.
Chicago.
Dan's on.
You're going to take the 3 and
Yep.
sit on it. All right.
That's 2 games in a row.
Nagy's playing for his life. I mean, let's be honest.
He is.
He gotta put Fields on the field.
He has to do.
He's gonna have to.
They got to win. I mean, he's got to produce. Or he might be the first dude fired. He might get fired
on
in
the hot seat.
September.
We're
on
gonna.
an NFL team.
I don't know about all that, but we'll see how this shakes out.
on.
Dan and
He's gotta win.
Dan and I together, the first two games, we were opposite sides.
I got
the
Cincy.
first two games,
Okay.
and Teddy's went the other way on both of them. So next game up, I guess we're doing both Dan and I's teams first here. The Houston Texans come a little bit up north to play Dan's Cleveland Browns. Houston 1-0. They are in sole possession of first
Yeah,
place in the
world
AFC
beaters.
South. Yes, they are. They play the Cleveland Browns. The Browns did lose their opening game out in Kansas City. Let's talk about Houston first before we get into this. But the line has been installed at the Browns minus 12.5. Obviously, it's a huge number. The over-under is 48. Let's talk about Houston. Tyrod Taylor played well. They ran the ball. The game was never in question. They had control of it from the outset against Jacksonville. I know they're an inferior opponent. The Browns, obviously, they played in Kansas City. I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the game right now and let Dan and Ted talk about this. Obviously, it's Dan's team.
Well, when I first saw this line, I thought, no way, I'm not going to pick Cleveland. But you know what? The more I think about it, coming to home after Cleveland with that heartbreaking loss to Kansas City last week, they have something to prove. And I think Cleveland will actually cover that 12.5. When I first looked at it, I was like, no, I won't touch that. But yeah, I think Cleveland wins by 13 plus, and they will show Houston where they really belong.
I'm going with Teddy. I'm picking the Browns. Our pregame talk before the show, I was like 12.5. That's a huge line, but come on.
I agree.
We played Kansas City well, couple mistakes, but Houston's a mess. I mean, come on, they play the Jaguars. Give me a break. My Pee-wee team would look better than the Jaguars.
Houston looked well. I think it deflates the line a little bit, the betting line a little bit. I like Cleveland giving it 12.5 as well. I mean, what happened really with Cleveland? They had control of the game, but they certainly showed that they're not just a team on paper. They're a very good team. You can't turn the ball over 3 times in the second half and beat a team like Kansas City.
No.
You could probably do it against Houston, but you can't do it against Kansas City.
Cleveland special teams got to get their shit together too. And I'm not talking about the. Well, I mean, obvious the guy dropped the punt and still could have or the snap on the punt could have got it off. But we need a better return game from punts and shit, kickoffs. I mean, come on.
Speaking of the punt, it goes under the category of you have one job. The Browns punted one time in the football game. And
you dropped the damn
thing. The Scottish Hammer drops the ball.
Yeah,
So,
well, we're going to change his nickname.
fair enough. We are all giving the boatload of points in 12.5. We're on the Browns in
We'll
that
lay
game.
that. We'll lay the 12.5. Let's go.
Next game up, the Los Angeles Rams coming off their win against Chicago. They are 1-0. They travel to the Midwest to play the Indianapolis Colts. Colts lost their opening game to the Seattle Seahawks. They are 0-1. The line has been put at the Rams -4. The over-under on this game is 47. Rams beat Chicago. Matthew Stafford looked good. I expected him to look good. They had a couple of huge plays. I think they're a good football team, balanced football team, both sides of the ball. The defense can play, the offense can play. They have playmakers. Indy.
Well, go ahead.
No, Indy, they lost to Seattle. I mean, Wentz up and down. The offense seemed to sputter a little bit. I saw some highlights. I didn't see a lot of the game.
Jalen Ramsey is a stud.
There's no doubt.
I mean, if
100%.
you have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald on your team, come on. I mean, you
got star players on the front and the back end of the defense,
he
obviously.
makes plays. It's
And if you ask me, the Bears played into the hand by throwing short passes. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's a wildly instinctive player.
oh my God, he's so good.
He's super good, but I mean, he can be he's a very aggressive player, and he can be susceptible to double moves and things like that. The Bears never tried to move the ball deep. I got to stop talking about the Bears. I know I get on tangents like that. I'm going to stop doing it right now.
I'm
move
trying
on.
to talk about Jalen
Move on.
Ramsey and what
Let's
a
move
stud
on.
he is. I'm taking the
But the
Rams.
Bears,
I'm taking
I'm
the
on the
Rams
Rams.
as well with -4. So my boy Matthew Stafford, UGA fan, all in and out. I love him. The fact that he gets with someone like Sean McVay, who should be a genius. I'm looking forward to seeing what Matthew Stafford can do in a decent offense. I'll take the minus. I'll lay 4 points all day long with the Rams. And the Rams over Indy.
Indianapolis has a very good defense. It didn't show that well. They gave up big plays just like the Bears did against the Rams to Seattle. I mean, there was a 70-yard play to Tyler Lockett and things like that. I hesitate too. I'm going to lay the points as well. I think it's a consensus pick. We're all in the Rams -4. Is that correct?
Yeah. Holy shit. I think we're on the same all the way down the board so far still.
And that will change. But here's the next game up on the board. It's the Buffalo Bills. They are 0-1. They come off a loss at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They travel down to the in-laws team, the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins did find a way to win the game in New England. They are 1-0. The line has been put or installed at Buffalo -3.5 in this game. I'm going to talk about Buffalo first. Obviously, they're the road team. Their offense could never find footing or get in sync against that Pittsburgh defense. And I don't know if it is, hey, it's just the first game for Buffalo, or if it's the Pittsburgh defense. And I know you talk a lot about
the
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh defense played really good. I mean, because I flipped that game on and I was like, wait, it's 3-0? And then the Cincinnati Viking game was on here. I'm like, what? I was watching that and then flip back, and then they got a late touchdown. I'm worried about Buffalo. I don't. What the hell's going on there?
Yeah.
I actually didn't see any of those games you're just talking about. But the fact that Buffalo's traveling down to hot Miami, I'm going to actually take Miami.
Weather
I'm
can
going to
be a
lay
factor.
the 3.5. Not that
No,
they
you're
can't
getting
handle
it.
the heat.
Well, you're getting the 3.5.
Okay, well, okay, then I'll definitely take Miami.
I'm
and
taking
we'll see
Miami,
what
too.
Tua T can do. And let's go Fins. Fins up.
All right, both these guys like the points with 3.5. The hook, they like the hook. Maybe it's a field goal game. Miami, they played in New England. They found a way to win the game. It was kind of a back and forth game as well. I wasn't impressed with Tua. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. To the in-laws. I wasn't impressed. I think he got outplayed by Mac Jones. There was a big play by their star cornerback, Xavier Howard, who knocked the ball loose and recovered a fumble late. Otherwise, I think they'd lose that game. I'm going to believe in Buffalo because I think they're a tremendous football team. I think they put it back together here. I like them to cover the 3.5 number. I'm on Buffalo. The two gentlemen to the left of me are on the Dolphins. All right, next game up, the Patriots. We just talked about them a little bit. The Patriots did lose the game in Miami, obviously. They're 0-1. They are 6.5-point favorites going to play the New York Jets. The Jets lost in Carolina on Sunday as well. Over-under on this game is 43. New England, I thought Mac Jones looked good.
Good.
They run the ball. They're kind of bland. The Jets, they were down in Carolina. They obviously have their rookie quarterback as well. This is two rookie quarterbacks going up against each other, Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. I thought Wilson had his good, points and bad points.
It's Belichick going against the Jets.
I like Robert Saleh. I like the changing culture. With that being said, the Jets lost their offensive lineman, the mountain of a dude on left tackle, which means something. But I'll go first on this game. I don't think I have yet. I'm going to take the points with the Jets. I'm going to take the points with the
paper
Jets.
Paper airplanes.
I am.
Come on
outta
now.
here.
No,
I'm on New England.
No, I'm on New England
Yeah.
as well. I can't
No
even
way.
tell what the board says, but I'm going to take those points.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to get the points. I don't care what it is. I'm taking New England to
Yeah.
beat them by whatever that board says.
I knew it wasn't going to be popular. I'm taking the Jets getting 6.5. I like them to hang in this game. I like the culture change. I want to believe in the culture change with the Jets, the Jets, Jets, with Robert Saleh. I like him a lot as a coach. We'll see how it shakes. I am on the Jets. These guys are on the Pats. Very good. Next game up, San Francisco goes to play Philadelphia. I think this is a pretty intriguing game based upon what happened last week. San Francisco is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under on this game is 50, a pretty whopping number. They're expecting points out of Vegas for sure. San Francisco, they won their game in Detroit. They had a huge lead, a 38-10 lead, and they pissed it away. It's not they almost lost the game, but it came down to the final possession because Detroit was within 8 points. They were in plus territory against San Francisco. Obviously, they needed a touchdown, and they would need the 2-point conversion. It didn't happen. They lost the game, but that team didn't quit. Detroit didn't quit, but San Francisco wins their game. Philadelphia went to Atlanta. Your football team's bad, Ted. I hate to say it.
Yeah, what the hell?
They took care of business. I've been stomping for Hurts for a long time. I love Hurts. I thought they looked good. I thought they looked good on both sides of the ball. Teddy, I want to hear you talk about that Philadelphia-Atlanta game.
I will absolutely take Philadelphia, and I'll take those 3.5 points. Because Philadelphia surprised me. Yes, even though everything going on, I thought Atlanta had a chance. But Hurts looked amazing. He was running it. He was throwing it. Sanders out of the backfield was amazing. I'm going to take those 3.5 points. I'm going with Philly, not just because what they beat up on Atlanta. I think Atlanta's horrible. Their defense sucks. Their offensive line is horrible. Matt Ryan they were drawing chalk lines around Matt Ryan and memes they were giving to Atlanta because our offensive line couldn't stop them. But I still think with Cox and everyone else, Philly is gonna. I'll take those 3.5 points, and I'm going with Philadelphia at home.
Dan.
I'm going to take Philly just because I think San Francisco with Raheem
Mostert's out.
that
Yep.
injury, I think that's bigger. You know, I know the guy that came off the bench. I don't know.
Tried to pick him up on my fantasy team, but it was stolen from me on waivers.
They also
You don't see him. You can't prepare for him. I think it's different
Lies
this
or
week. You know, he had a great game last week, but they're on the road. 2 weeks in a row, they're on the road.
That's a long trip. That's a long
Yeah.
travel trip.
I'm going with Philly.
San Francisco also lost Jason Verrett, who was one of their top corners. We'll see. I think they signed Josh Norman. I'm sure he's going to be elevated in
Josh
this
Norman
game. It was
still
kind of
playing?
a name blast from the past, if you will.
Lord.
I've always stomped for Hurts. I like the crowd in Philadelphia. I mean,
Yeah.
they're excited.
The jail.
Throwing batteries.
They
at
won their
people?
first game. It's a tough environment. It's a tough travel trip. I'm going to take the points, too. I think it's a field game. I think it's a great game. I think it's one of the most fun games on the board. I really do. We're all consensus pick Philly. Have you guys been thinking about your elephant pick by any chance?
No.
I haven't thought about it either, but we'll figure it out.
Where's
We'll
that-
look at the
where's
board.
that one coming?
That's
Yeah,
at the very end.
I've thought about it.
Oh, good.
I know.
Dan has his. All right. I
College
never
game
thought
on
about
this
it.
bad boy?
Yeah, we do one. All right, next game up on the 1 o'clock slate. The Las Vegas Raiders come off a thrilling Monday night victory that I didn't see all of. I wish I would have.
My God.
They go to Pittsburgh and play the
You didn't
Steelers.
stay awake like I did?
I didn't. Let me get through the line here first. Pittsburgh's minus 5.5 in this game. The over/under on this game is 47. Let's talk about that Raiders Monday night game, and Dan wants to talk about
The
it.
stadium's amazing looking. I know that much.
Yeah. The game
I mean, the stadium looks awesome.
the stadium's awesome. That game was a disaster. I mean,
It was a perfect disaster. It was super
I
fun.
couldn't believe how it ended.
The Bears played-
Raiders lost, right?
No,
No, the Raiders won.
in overtime. And I'm going to talk about it since Ted doesn't know about it because it was super awesome. I saw the replays.
I fell asleep.
Obviously, the Bears played on Sunday night. It was a pretty drinky evening for me watching the Bears. I was tired on Monday. I made it to like the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and I couldn't make it anymore. I was laying in my bed, and I missed it. In any event, people were talking about it at work the next day. I mean, the game goes into overtime.
Water
After
cooler.
back and forth, I mean, the Raiders have a chance to win this game. They thought they did win the game on a touchdown. What happened? They got called back?
Yeah.
They got called back. They end up with a penalty, or it was short of the goal line. They get a 5-yard penalty. Carr throws an interception. It looks like they're doomed. Then Baltimore gets the ball, and somebody fumbled. Was it Lamar?
I can't remember if it was him or
They
not.
fumble the ball. But what happens at the end?
He throws up like a punt, and the dude is wide open for a touchdown.
Well, the Raiders, I think they were trying to run the field goal team on the field. They couldn't find their field goal kicker.
Yeah.
Derek Carr said, fuck it, threw it up.
Yeah.
And 31-yard touchdown later to Zay Jones. We got a winner, and everybody's going nuts in Vegas. So, thrilling game, super fun game. Anyway, lost tangent about last week. Let's talk about the Steelers and that performance in Buffalo. I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because that was
We already
impressive.
did this.
Well, the Steelers defense, they're good, and I'm going to pick Pittsburgh in this game because the Raiders, they came out with a lot of injuries out of that game.
They kept on throwing the ball to Waller. And it's like they wouldn't. I mean, I know Zay Jones got the last touchdown, but
Waller's their only weapon.
It's not true. I mean, they have Henry Ruggs and other people, but I mean, obviously Derek Carr zeroed in on
Ruggs, he was in the first half. Ruggs was already holding his calf,
I
and I'm
didn't
like,
see
come
that.
on, dude.
I mean, Steelers, their defense looked great. They kind of got the offense going in the second half. Our boy Chase Claypool made an awesome catch down the sideline.
Yeah, their
we
offense
love our
sucked
Notre
in
Dame
the
guy,
first
Chase
half.
Claypool, even though he plays on, public enemy number one for Dan's football team, the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns. We've talked a lot about this game already. It's Pittsburgh minus 5.5 in this game.
I haven't made my pick. I don't know exactly what you guys are talking about because I missed that in that game. But at the
Yes,
same time,
pickers.
I'm going to go with Las Vegas in this one. I'll take the 5.5 points. I think they win by 7 easily.
What? You
Okay.
mean the?
He's
You're talking about
taking
Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, right?
That's
Yes.
the Raiders.
I want Pittsburgh.
You want Pittsburgh? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you want Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
What the? How many,
said it the other
how many
way.
drinks you had, dude?
Guess
Oh,
pickers.
no,
on
sorry.
Twitter. Yes,
I want
pickers.
Las Vegas, and I'm going to take the points. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. That's
win
what
by
you said
7.
the first time. All right.
Wait,
taking the Raiders.
Hold on. This is a big timeout right now because it all went different
Sorry.
ways.
I
Hold
think
on.
Las Vegas will win this game. They'll beat Pittsburgh by 7, and I'll take those points.
You don't need. You're getting points.
I am getting points, and
All
they're
right.
going to.
But he's just spouting it that they're going to be winning by beat
I'm
the
gonna-
stinking Steelers by 7.
I'm going to clarify. Dan likes the pick. Teddy likes the Raiders on the money line in this game. Emphatically, and he thinks they're not only going to squeak the game out, he thinks they're going to win by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Dan, he's like,
I'm on Pittsburgh on this one.
so am I.
They're not going to win, but
I saw enough from Pittsburgh in regards to their defense. I think they're going to throttle the Vegas offense and mute them completely. Not completely, but I don't see the Raiders scoring more than maybe 17 points top end in this game. And I like to see their offense enough to find a way to cover this number.
So now
the
we're
Raiders'
separating
offense and
ourselves.
defensive lines don't look good to me.
Raiders? I know.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with
Scary.
that at all. I mean, obviously we watched that game and it was the only game on, so everybody's there watching it. I agree. It looked a little bit shaky to
They
me.
got skill, but they're both their lines. And I know Incognito. Or,
I don't think he played.
He wasn't
still playing?
He was on the sideline. Yeah.
Good Lord.
I don't know what his deal was.
Who's
Dan-
the bullying these days?
Dan and I are both on Pittsburgh minus the 5.5. Teddy likes the Raiders on the money line. All right, very good. New Orleans, they go to play in division, Carolina. New Orleans comes off an absolute beatdown, and I'm going to say beatdown, of the Green Bay Packers. I love that shit. They are 1-0. They go play Carolina. Carolina's 1-0 as well. They come off their win against the Jets. New Orleans, let's talk about that. I mean, the offense, the defense, the whole thing looked good. Jameis throws 5 touchdowns. The defense doesn't give up a touchdown to an Aaron Rodgers-led offense. And then you got Carolina. They beat the Jets, and Sam Darnold, he looked okay. He didn't make any horrific decisions or really bad decisions. He looked okay to me. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's back, obviously. He helps a ton. Out of the backfield, running the
CMC,
ball,
baby.
catching the ball, things like that. Their defense looked pretty good. It was the Jets. The line on this game is the New Orleans Saints minus 3.5. It's an in-division game. What do you guys think?
Well, being a Falcons fan, Sean Payton is the devil to us. And I would not be surprised to see New Orleans come out and dominate. I'll take those 3.5 and I'll throw them away. I take New Orleans outright.
You looking at Jameis Winston, I know he had LASIX and 5 touchdowns, but I'll tell you what, he looks a lot slimmer to me. I don't know if he's wearing
Peyton's the
smaller
whisperer.
pads.
He's the whisperer.
He looks good. And again, Carolina beat the Jets, so I'm going with the Saints.
I am too. I don't think I haven't taken. I hate double negatives. I think I've given the points on every game so far, and I like the point. I think this is a huge week, and I may continue it. I think this is a huge week for the public betting because everybody likes to bet favorites. I love the favorites in this week. I really do. And things went well last week. I'm on New Orleans minus 3.5 as well. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is still in like Zen mode or just because he wasn't there with the team. I don't.
His new
The Green Bay
girlfriend and
offense.
everything, I mean, whatever.
The Green Bay offense looked wildly out of sync. Obviously, you got to attribute some of that credit to
Shailene
New Orleans Saints.
Woodley.
So, all right, we're all on the Saints
With that
minus 3.5.
everybody saw that commercial with
haven't
her
seen
here where he's like playing a guitar.
I'm not saying it.
You haven't seen that one?
I have.
The guy. I mean, that just fits the whole thing that happened
With
over
his
the
long
summer.
hair and
yeah,
everything,
he's
and
got
he's
a
dating
hat on.
he's dating a movie star now.
He's weird.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to defend Aaron
weird.
Rodgers here. He's a weird dude. He can play fucking football. There's no
Wait.
two ways about it.
Where the fuck was he last week?
He's a 31% passer rating. Apparently, he could throw it in the ground all day long, you get a 34% passer rate.
He was on the Pat
So
McAfee
31.
show, and I love the Pat McAfee show. I watch clips of it all the
You know
time.
what we're talking about, Dan.
He's a good friend of the co-host there, which is AJ Hawk, his former teammate, and he said he got a double nut shot on the first interception. I don't know. It
Double
doesn't really
nut
matter.
shot?
It
What's
doesn't
that
really
mean? Is that
matter.
a
We got to
grab and
keep
twist?
moving. We got to keep moving. I don't
Yeah.
know. In any event, the next game, we're all on the Saints minus 3.5.
Yeah,
Once you get the
yeah,
recap.
100%.
This is kind of a wild.
Oh my God, we're all going to be on Denver too.
All right, Denver -6 going to play Jacksonville. Denver is 1-0. They come off their win in New York against the Giants. Jacksonville got throttled pretty good
Yeah.
against Houston.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Denver. The biggest thing out of that game is Jerry Jeudy got hurt. I think he goes to the IR. He's probably a good 6 weeks in regards to this. One of their playmakers are down, but you, Dan, you know from week 0, from week 1, me talking about how much I like the Denver football team this year with Teddy Bridgewater,
Oh, yeah.
with their playmakers and their young playmakers, and it was Judy and it was Hamler, and obviously Cortland Sutton is just making his way back. He's working off a hamstring and things like that. Noah Fant, I love their young playmakers on their team. I love their defense. I mean, Von Miller had 2 sacks last week. I think this Denver team, is going to compete for a playoff spot this year. Certainly, I think the AFC West is way better, and that is largely because of the Denver Broncos. They're -6. They go play Jacksonville. Jacksonville, obviously, they're going through growing pains. You know, the new collegiate coach, Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. You know,
3 picks for Trevor in his first.
3
debut.
interceptions and 3 picks. They're certainly going through
That was
growing
against
pains.
Houston.
You're real pretty.
Houston.
You're real pretty, but
Yeah.
guess what? This is much different than the ACC.
Yeah,
So,
no, the
I'm
Jackson.
I'll take the points and throw them away all day long. I'm taking Denver as well.
I'm taking Denver on this too. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Jets, they're the same for me. The J teams.
We are in consensus. I'm apparently a huge fan of the Denver Broncos this year. I talked about them week 0, week 1. I like this team a lot. I really do. I'm going to give the whole 6 points too. I think they win this game by more than a touchdown. All right, that's the end of the 1 o'clock slate. The 4 p.m. slate starts with the Minnesota Vikings traveling out to Arizona. Arizona is a 4.5-point favorite in this game. We talked earlier about Minnesota losing that overtime
That was
heartbreaker
a
to
thriller.
Cincinnati.
That was hard for you.
It hurt me. It was a
$800
lot.
on the line.
Probably more. I tried to mute it because
Well,
the
that
deputy
was-
was
that was
here,
at
your
the
parents
time.
were
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
There was a lot of
The
people
deputy,
here.
I'm like, that's a bad look to have a deputy just hanging out in your front yard, but whatever.
The
You do you, Ken. You do
Security.
you. do.
I might as well go into the story. The deputy is a friend of mine. Well, he wasn't a friend of mine, but
He still is.
he wasn't a friend. He's not necessarily wasn't a natural friend of mine. With you,
yes.
well, I hang out in my garage a lot, and he
It's
patrol.
Ohio.
You're interjecting
That's
a lot.
what you do in Ohio. You just hang out in your garage. We all know.
Is he
about
talking
this.
too much?
Where do you hang out?
Not in my garage.
Why is your garage not cool?
Dan hangs out in the garage.
We
I
have
hang out in my
giant
garage.
TVs inside our house,
Oh, I
and we have a
that, too.
bathroom. And everyone knows it's an Ohio thing to hang out in your garage. Like Ken has a giant house with a beautiful deck, but he hangs out in his garage.
There's a television. I like football. We're gonna go forward on this. The
What's
deputy
wrong
was
with you,
here.
Teddy?
Fucking ridiculous.
I met him because he patrols the neighborhood, and he would see me out here hanging out, and he stopped one time, and we became friendly. It's always good to have the blue on your side. I love him. He's an awesome guy. I have 4 derelict boys. It'll certainly come in handy in that regard. Not that he's not a good friend.
Plenty of derelict friends.
so-
But it's a
hopefully-
bad look when he stops by on like 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Your neighbors have to be wondering, what are you doing? Hey, Ken, when's the last time you beat your wife? Yeah, we don't do that. It's just a bad
stops
look.
by all the time.
I
I've
know,
been over
but
here.
it's a
It's the
bad
middle of the
look.
night.
It's
I'm
a
like, I
bad
want to roll
look.
out of here, and I got
It's
the
a
sheriff's
bad look.
cruiser blocking the drive.
a bad
All the neighbors
look.
know he's up here. They're like,
I'm saying
wait,
it's a
what's that guy
bad-
doing? Is he drinking with the rest of them
It's a
up there?
bad look.
It took a while for the neighborhood I've lived in here for almost 20 years to get used to it. Generally, he would stop by around 11 p.m. I'd be out here having drinks, watching football. I mean, that's the bad look because sometimes he'd put on his lights. It's dark out there, right? So nobody run into the cruiser type of thing. I mean, maybe they did think that. I don't think they think it anymore. I don't know. In any event,
It's awesome. We're gonna have to shoot a video
he's awesome.
when
yes.
he's here.
No, he's a good guy. He's a very
Deputy
good guy.
Hip
If
makes
you're
the show
watching-
for the first
if
time.
you're watching, you're a good guy.
Oh, he's watching.
Oh, it's good.
All right, very good. We lost it completely on this. Minnesota travels to Arizona. I'm going to recap Arizona's
And
minus
just to
4.5.
clarify, Ken does not beat his wife. He
No,
beats,
no,
he beats his
exactly.
brother-in-law.
I'm going to beat him down. He's talking too much, in my opinion, on the telecast tonight or the podcast. I love my wife like crazy. All right,
He does not.
Arizona minus 4.5. Minnesota, we talked about that. They run the ball, Dalvin Cook. They still run that same dink and dunk offense, if you ask me, with Kirk Cousins. I thought Arizona was the most impressive team I saw on Sunday. They went to Tennessee and absolutely destroyed them. I mean, Kyler Murray running like video game plays, like doing his thing. It was nuts. Their defense played well. They got turnovers. Arizona's minus 4.5 in this game. We went on a tangent. We need to go through this. Who do we got?
Arizona.
I have Arizona too. Kyler Murray is my QB1 on fantasy, and he did
Nobody cares.
really, really well last week. So
He did really well.
Yeah, he did great. So I think they're definitely going to cover. They'll take the 4.5, and we're going to be fine. I'm going with Arizona on this one. Although
Wait, are you
Dalvin,
sure?
yes, I'm sure. Dalvin Cook can do what he can do, but I'm taking Arizona all day long.
Let's get to the next one.
I love Arizona's game. It's one of my favorite lines on the board. We'll see. There's a little bit of intrigue whether or not it's going to be the elephant. I absolutely love this line. They are expecting a lot of points, by the way, as a side note in that game at 51. All right, here we go. Atlanta going down to Tampa. Atlanta 0-1. We talked briefly about them earlier when we talked about the Philadelphia game. They lost at home to Philly. Tampa won an awesome game on Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. They had a great showing. They are 12-point favorites in the game, rightfully so, against Atlanta. Obviously, in division once again. Atlanta has O-line issues. They have a statue of a quarterback.
Wait a
Matt
minute.
Ryan.
Issues all the way
A
around.
rookie left guard. I mean, Matt Ryan, literally, they were drawing chalk lines around him in memes all day long. Matt Ryan, for as great as he has been for the last 13, 14 years, has never had an O-line that can protect him. Not to say that he would be Hall of Fame immediate, but I think if he had an O-line like Tom Brady.
Hall of
has
Fame
had-
what? They blew that Super Bowl. He's got no chance.
28
Hall
to
of
3.
Fame.
We all know, Ken. It's fine. But unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I definitely think Tampa can cover those 12 points. I almost think Tampa wins by 14 to 18 points. Because we're playing in Tampa.
What?
And they have the little pew pew,
Yeah,
pew pew,
well-
little cannon blast.
And that's going to scare the shit out
It's
of a
good.
Falcon.
We're going to be worried. But maybe we have a bounce back. I need Mike Davis to do something more than he did last game. He's also my fantasy team.
Once again, nobody cares about your fantasy team.
Okay, yeah, no. Tampa's going to crush the
I'm
shit out of
taking
them.
I'll take Tampa, and I will eat the 12 points.
I'm taking Tampa. Tom Brady's pissed that he had 4 turnovers on the offense, and they're playing the Falcons, who looked like dog shit.
They looked really
And
shitty.
yeah, I'm taking
Except for
Tampa.
the first 2 drives.
Well,
But
okay.
then and Arthur Smith can be as pissed as he wants to be. He doesn't have control of that locker room
Now,
yet.
Arthur Smith is not beating Tom Brady. I'm taking
He's
no.
not. I agree.
I'm laying the 12 points as well. Very animated discussion in regards to this game. I mean, Tampa had 4 turnovers in the game against Dallas on Thursday night. They still find a way to win. One thing that kind of bothers me, because I'm not an Antonio Brown fan, I think he's going to be a factor in this offense, like a significant factor going forward. I just have a little bit of disdain for him. I need to get over it. Doesn't have anything to do with it. But we're all on Tampa minus 12.
And we're on that the cannon fire sucks ass.
It does. Pew pew.
Yeah,
pew,
it's
pew.
lame. Come on,
Dan
fix
needs,
that shit.
Dan needs somebody like a country fella drinking lots of Miller Lights or Bud Lights or
There's someone
something
from
like
like
that.
Virginia,
working the
Virginia
camera.
Tech to shoot off a proper cannon.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
kidding. I mean, the
Boom.
freaking the Columbus Blue Jackets fire off better cannons than freaking
I'm
an
with
outdoor
you.
stadium.
I'm with you.
We've never had a 60-minute show. We might be approaching it. Let's move. All right, the Dallas Cowboys. This is a fun game. I like this game
Yeah,
a lot.
this is good.
The Dallas Cowboys go out to LA. They play the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites in this game. Obviously, we talked about Dallas just a second ago. They had a very good showing in Tampa. I mean, either Dak Prescott got better, or I forgot how good he was.
He's really good.
because he looked
He is
awesome.
really good.
And they have a slew of playmakers.
They might
In
be
Dallas,
fine,
I mean, with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and things like that, the Chargers are a 3-point favorite in the game. In this game,
Chargers is because the home team.
the Chargers went across the country
So
last
it's a pick
week.
'em. It's a pick 'em.
It's not a pick 'em. The
If
Chargers.
they're -3, it's because they're at home.
Okay.
In that beautiful new stadium. I mean, that place is. Let's just talk about this. That you saw that stadium with the lake in front of it and the whole thing. I mean, that was
Yeah,
It's called
absolutely
an
beautiful.
ocean, not a lake.
It's not. That's not an ocean.
You're
It's a
talking
lake.
about Los Angeles?
Yeah, it's not an ocean. It's a lake. And it's not SoFi. Which one is that? SoFi? Whatever
They-
it is.
yeah.
It's
they
absolutely
play in the
beautiful.
same stadium.
Okay, yes. So it's absolutely beautiful.
That's a really big
So-
fucking lake. It happens to be the Pacific Ocean.
Bullshit. Check this. Check me, because it's a man-made lake right out in front of the stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. Same when the Rams play in.
Why
It's
aren't they
gorgeous.
using that water to freaking water crops or whatever?
They're stealing
put
it
out
all. They're
fires?
stealing it all from Las Vegas.
Well,
Have you-
what the hell?
Have you ever been to the dams out there? Yeah,
No,
they're all low.
They're
Because
bitching about having no water, and they built a freaking fake lake by a football stadium.
It's kind of like a pond.
All right, stop it. I'm
Okay,
going to take.
that's-
The point
stupid.
is, Los Angeles is gonna eat the 3 points because they're at home. So it's essentially a pick'em game. But I'm taking Dallas, and they will win by more than 3 points.
You like Dallas on the money
Yes.
line to win the game
100%.
outright, even though they're getting 3 points. All right, fair
100%.
enough. Dallas, they have a slew of playmakers, and they're great. They couldn't run the ball against Tampa. The only thing that was in mid-season form for Ezekiel Elliott was his hairdo. That thing is solid. I mean,
Zeke sucks, by the way.
his hairdo
sucks.
is money.
He sucks.
But they couldn't run the ball. I mean, I think they were missing Zach Martin, who's another Notre Dame product.
You can't. That's not why they weren't running the ball. You're missing one dude off of the stud offensive line. You got both the tackles back.
Zeke Elliott's gotten fat.
They
and
struggled
happy.
running the ball.
He's
They-
fat
they
and
They
happy.
struggle running the ball, but
The passing
it's-
attack
you
was
can't
fantastic,
say
though.
It's because you're missing one
He's
freaking
fat and
guy.
happy. He's fat and happy.
I think there was a
It's-
good. They
He
had a
got his
chance to win that
26
game.
million.
Yeah.
He's done.
That's-
He's
I
gonna
don't
go
think
do
that's
ecstasy and go to a party.
Okay.
Bingo.
That's false. In any event, the Chargers, they went across country. They took care of business at a very good back and forth game with the Washington football team. Justin Herbert picked up where he left off. He looked fantastic. I mean, he's going to be a stud quarterback in this National Football League. I love Keenan Allen. I like this team. I'm going to lay the points with the Chargers -3. Dan, who do you got? Teddy Ray declared on Dallas.
I'm on the Chargers on this one.
All right, very good. I think I've given the points in every game so far. I'm not mistaken. We'll have to recap here in a bit. The next game up on the board, Tennessee goes to play Seattle. The line is Seattle Seahawks -5.5. The over-under on this game is a whopping 54 points.
That's a lot.
Tennessee, they lost. They got blown out, basically, by Arizona at home.
No more Arthur Smith.
But you know what?
Sam.
You know what we got?
Vrabel,
Yes,
and he's pissed.
he's the Vrabel is the best sound bites in the National Football League, and we got a money one right out of the gate, week 1.
Yeah.
And it was
What do you
his-
say? That's stupid
Right.
shit or stupid shit.
It was
penalty.
Julio Jones
Yeah.
on a third
Julio
down.
sucks. He's on my fantasy team too.
It was Julio Jones who committed a personal foul, getting into an altercation with someone. And in Mike Vrabel's press conference on Monday, I just absolutely love him. He's like, "That's nothing we teach. That's nothing we coach. So that falls under the department of doing dumb shit that hurts the
Yeah.
team."
Yeah.
I love
Fantastic.
Vrabel. I love
Love it.
Vrabel.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. In any event, that has nothing to do with the game. They lost badly, and their offensive. I mean, Chandler Jones had 5 sacks against Ryan Tannehill in that game. Seattle went to Indy.
5 sacks.
Yes, I mean obviously leading the league.
Lord, 5
Seattle,
in one game.
correct.
Good Lord, I should have done my research.
Would you like to say it again?
No, say it again. But I'm 5 sacks in one game.
Seattle is 5.5
I'm
point
pace for
favorites.
100 sacks.
They went to Indy. They took care of business. Indy. They got an early lead. They had a couple of huge plays. Indy's defense is no slouch. I mean, so Seattle's offense looked good. They have a new offensive coordinator, and maybe it's changed some things there. I remember talking in week 0, like, what's happened with Seattle? Like, nothing. But meanwhile, they changed their offensive coordinator. Obviously, it worked week 1 against Indianapolis. The line is Seattle -5.5. I mean, obviously, always Tennessee brings that run game with Derrick Henry, who's an absolute monster. But what do you think, Dan?
I'm going with Seattle on this one. At home, 12th man.
Me too. I'll lay those 5.5 all day long. Seattle's going to win by 7 to 10 points. You can't bet against Russell Wilson.
Yep.
I'll take him all day long. I'm laying the 5.5. Let's go Seattle.
This is the first game on the board where I'm going to take the points. I love Vrabel. I don't like Vrabel. I love Vrabel. I like him to fix the wreck of the ship that happened last week. I like the run game. I like them to rectify things. I like them to play a close game in Seattle. I don't know if they're going to win, but I like having the 5.5 points. I'm going to take Tennessee in this game. All right, very good. That's the end of the 4 o'clock slate. The Sunday night football game, very fun football game, explosive football game. The Kansas City Chiefs off a very short week. Wait, not a short week. Baltimore's off the short week. Kansas City goes to play Baltimore. Baltimore's off the short week. I apologize. Obviously,
go first.
Let's recap what happened last week.
Let's do
Kansas City did beat the Browns. It was a very good game. I mean, obviously
Great
the
game.
Browns are a great football team.
Great
They got the benefit of 3 turnovers into the second half. They found a way to win. There was a play that happened, that Tyreek Hill touchdown where
That 75-yarder, yeah.
it's like a joke. Like
Freaking.
Mahomes like F it. Tyreek's out there somewhere and just whipped the ball and like 50 yards
I don't know
upfield
what
and
to
caught.
say. I don't know what Johnson was looking at. He's not looking at the guys wide open. The ball's thrown over here. So what do you?
Baltimore lost the most fun or the best football game to watch, at least for viewers and not like us, on Monday night against the Raiders in overtime. Kansas City's minus 3.5 in this game. Here we go, Dan. What do you want?
Kansas City. I'm not picking the Ratbirds. They're too many injuries. I think they got banged up in that game against the Raiders. Kansas City.
So my turn? Wow. Yeah, I wasn't impressed by what Baltimore did last week. Lamar this, Lamar that. Kansas City is Kansas City. If I'm going to have to lay 4 points, 3.5, give me 3 and a hook, I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City has to fix some stuff because the Browns did dominate them for 3 quarters, and they're going to come out and whip the Ratbirds.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's a short week for Baltimore. Baltimore blew a 14-point lead.
Short week. I don't think that matters.
Baltimore had a 14-point lead in that game. They kind of petered away. Lamar's like a video game player. I mean, he's been in the league, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years. I don't know how long it's been, but
4 years.
I watch him, and every time it, like, shocks me, like, when he does something crazy. Like, his acceleration and speed is just nuts. I mean, he's a
year,
difference
he
maker.
definitely
I
was.
still like Kansas City in this game.
He dropped the ball a couple times that I thought was out of character for him.
There's so many. I mean, outside of Lamar, I feel like they're offensively limited, especially with. I mean, there's no team that's been hit more by the injury bug than the Baltimore Ravens.
2 ACLs and 2 different.
We're all in consensus.
Yeah.
We're giving the 3.5.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, very
I'm
good.
saying Kansas City.
Monday Night Football, the Detroit Lions. Doesn't seem like a Monday Night Football game. The Detroit Lions, I don't know when the last time is the Detroit Lions been on Monday Night Football, but they travel to play Green Bay. Green Bay is 11-point favorite in this game. Over-under in this game is 48. Detroit, obviously, Dan Campbell's mentality, and they hung in that game. They were down huge. I mentioned it earlier in this week that they were down 38-10. They didn't give up, and they got some turnovers late. I think that's Dan Campbell. I mean, Dan's a coach at heart. We both put weight on coaching.
Yeah.
I think Dan Campbell's eventually going to change the mentality of that team and the culture of that team. I don't think he has the players. Green Bay obviously is stacked. They had a very poor showing in Jacksonville, playing New Orleans. And maybe it's a product of Aaron Rodgers not being with the team all offseason and all the discord that was there in Green Bay. Green Bay's 11-point favorite. It's hard to go against that number, though. What are you going to do?
That's a big number at 11. And Dan Campbell, like you said, in my mind, he's a giant meathead. He can drink all of his 64 ounces of espresso all day long and want to rip the team up. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem to be the same Aaron Rodgers he was. Whether it's not being with the team, whether it's his new girlfriend and his long hair, I don't know what it is. But I don't think Green Bay will cover the 11. I think Green Bay still wins outright, but I think it'd be a much closer game. They win by 6 or 7 points.
What say you, Dan?
Jeff Okudah's out.
That's a good point. Jeff Okudah, who is their star cornerback, just was his second year out of Ohio State, went down with a season-ending injury, which really hurts them.
I think Aaron Rodgers does stuff. It's premeditated. I'm going with Packers on this one.
I don't blame you. And I thought I thought I was gonna be on the island by myself in this game. Ted went with me. I'm taking the points with Detroit. It's not because I hate Green Bay. I hate Green Bay. That's 100% across the board. I hate Green Bay. I want to see it first from the Green Bay Packer offense and see if they're that disjointed. and it's the fight from Dan Campbell. And I put a lot of weight, and I know Dan
Yeah.
does too. In
Yeah,
regards to coaching,
I do, but
I like
I
Detroit just to
can't-
hang around.
I can't get past Aaron
How
Rodgers'
good the
It's
offense.
going to be a lot
weirdness.
closer than
And-
11.
and-
A lot closer than 11.
I mean, Green Bay's a
Yeah.
juggernaut. Here we go. That's the entire slate. That's the 4 p.m. slate. That's the Sunday Night Football. That's Monday Night Football. Elephant picks. Obviously, once again, to recap, so some of those who are new to the show, the elephant pick means the best bet on the board. The game we like the most. This is the game that you want to play.
Ooh.
Who wants to go first?
Kansas City.
Dan likes Kansas City on Sunday Night Football to beat the Baltimore Ravens by 3.5. He says, book it.
Yep.
Teddy.
You put me on the spot. I thought this was a college game. I will take New England over the Jets. I don't care what the line
Minus
is.
the 6.5. They got to win by a
Yes.
touchdown.
Yes.
All right, my elephant pick this week is the Arizona Cardinals because of their showing last week. Minus 4.5 against a very poor showing of the Minnesota Vikings, losing in overtime to Cincinnati. The line's short enough for me at minus 4.5. I love that game. If you want to pick a parlay, take that and the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 5.5. I believe in that team and that defense. All right, we always do a bonus pick, real quick.
Oh.
Is it
And
Auburn or
I
we
picked
going
it.
at
It's
Penn
the Auburn-Penn State
Auburn
game.
at Penn State.
What?
Whiteout night. First time Auburn's been to.
Don't get me
Beaver
started.
Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm SEC all day long.
No way.
Penn State can suck my
Hey,
butt.
Penn
It's a family
State.
show.
I'm taking Penn State.
I don't care what the spread. I don't even know what Penn State's minus 6.
Penn State.
Auburn. And
No
because I'm
way.
a Georgia fan, they are our cousins. They are our brethren.
Dude,
we were going to
it
take
is-
Everybody's
No,
cousins in
They
the
will
South.
not. They will
It's
not.
nuts.
They will not be intimidated by a whiteout.
Oh.
Why don't you get Gary Sandusky out there and jerk some people off? That's fine.
Teddy.
No,
It's a
we're not gonna
family
do that.
show.
Come on, that's in the show.
Auburn Tigers, War Eagle.
All right, here we go. Let me recap this real quick. Both teams are 2-0. Bo Nix is the quarterback for Auburn. They come off wins against the local team, Akron, as well as Alabama State, not Alabama. So they played a couple of cupcakes. Penn State,
Penn State sucks.
they beat a very good Wisconsin team early in the
Big
season.
Ten.
Yeah.
Penn State is minus 6. I'm going to take Penn State in this game because of the whiteout. Because
Yeah, I'm telling you.
the place is going to be electric. I looked it up. Why is this place called Beaver Stadium? There was an old...
Happy Valley, because it's happy time.
Okay. There was an old governor named James Beaver. That's why it's called Beaver Stadium. I was wondering that when I was kind of picking this game. What I really want to know is, are they going to play Sweet Caroline between the third and the fourth quarter? Because I absolutely love that tradition. Hopefully there's been enough time in regards to the entire scandal with and Teddy referenced it earlier with Paterno and Jerry Sandusky. In any event, Dan and I are both Big Ten country. We're both giving it points, minus 6.
Big
Teddy,
Ten sucks.
SEC. That is it. That is the entire slate. That is your extra game. There's a fun college football game that I'm really looking forward to. The game I'm looking most forward to see in college football is a Cincinnati at Indiana game. Cincinnati's ranked 8th. We're gonna see if they can prove their mettle at Indiana, who's a pretty good football team that's unranked simply because they lost. In any event, although it was a little bit off the rails, a big thank you to Teddy for his guest picks, his guest appearance this week. Thank you all for watching,
Go
for
Teddy.
listening. For Dan, for Teddy, thank you all.
See you next week.